Alright, we should be live for this devlog. So, I've got stuff to do in about an hour, but I want to get some stuff set up. So, doing that. Okay. So, first things first, I want to get stuff and things set up, but in order to do that, I have to open this file. So, the first thing we're doing, setting up unit testing. We're going to... By the way, that's what we're doing today. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, so I want to open file. Yeah, that's fine. So we want to go to source. Common. That. Okay. We're mine. We're not opening that. Okay, it's not in this. Open that VS Code apparently. Get my display capture on. Also, this in. Not zoom this in. Why are we not zooming? Hold on, let me open the folder. That one, that one. Okay, now it should be loaded into C#. Now, if I pop this in, are we gonna... Visual Studio? I have a limited amount of time. I do not have the time to faff around today. And I want to load this project items file. Okay, because yeah, we're gonna need to do some shenaniganery with the building here. Right. So what we're going to do here at the bottom of these, I'm going to clean up this app settings stuff too today, but for unit testing, we're just going to put these at the bottom of our shared code. Projects. We're just going to tell it to ignore any _tests.cs's. I am not putting it in its own separate thing. Spoiler warning. But yeah, we're going to tell it to ignore tests.cs when we're building for production, because we'll put tests in production. Yeah, we're going to do that, and then I'm going to paste that into the main thing too. But yeah, we're going to just do that, and I'm going to close all that, because we're done. And then Visual Studio is going to go, yeah, you update those. So we're going to go, yes. Yeah, I'm going to update these app settings things at some point, but just to make it a little more organized. But yeah, okay. Now we need to get some NuGet packages. Okay, add new, no, we need to go manage packages. Well, that's initializing. I'm just going to come. And where's my platform release? Okay, so under our platform release, remind it has to be. Okay, so what I'm going to do. Bottom of this, we're just going to do that, and I'm going to make another item group here just for debug, but we're not going to do anything because we don't need to do anything. So yeah, we don't need the tests.cs. So if I was to do that, but anyway, actually, you know what? I do need this. I need this to move the references for unit testing into. Anyway. Now, if I just move these to the item group debug. That one, that's messing with the preference. So now I should not have my unit testing packaged if we do stuff. So let's actually just write a test unit test real quick. Add to the class. Unit testing underscore tests.cs. Very important that it has underscore tests. So, okay, so now if we do test class, I know. I need to do a dot. Okay, I'm on debug, so where are those packages? Yeah, we should have X unit. Why are we not? I don't remember how to do this right. Let's use movie not needed. I've not done unit testing in C# in a while. FC. Okay, no, we don't. Okay, no. Okay, so no, we don't. We can just make random. Okay, so we don't need to tag the class. That's Microsoft's. Okay, let's do public static bool is true. True. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just doing this as a test, like, test. What is this search for? Okay, so if we do that now, we should be good. Now if I just go to, if I go view, where's my unit testing pane going? Not there. Where is it? Ah, here we go. Let's just do run tests. I'm getting rid of this in a sec. Just give it a sec. Gotta build, and then we should be good. I don't really have much to set up the unit testing for yet, but I want to get it set up. Also, you come here. Oh, I want you in the same pane as that. Why did that not run? Oh, I didn't tag, that's why. Didn't tag that. There we go, that's why, my bad. Ah, there it is. Now if we run that, we should have it good. Switch this to release. That goes away first of all, so it's not in my project anymore. And I ran all tests now. Not detecting it anymore. So there's the behavior we want. Yay! And this is going to scream, but yeah. Anyways, put it back in debug. And give it a second to start up, and okay. Need something to get rid of that. Cool. I need to rig, yeah, setting stuff. Do that later. I have about an hour to get what I wanted done. Okay, what? Oh, excuse me. Let's get that set up right now. Instead of doing any of this stuff, we're just going to do I'm going to have to adjust my container code in a second. Wait. Anyway, so let's actually just get rid of this. so just that, and then it's a... Okay. Config. Creation app settings. So you know what? Let's just do card include. Okay, so if I do that now and I reload this, we're gonna still have all those. Yes. Now I need to. Now I need to rejigify this. Let's do. I'm just gonna take this wild card here. Cleaning up my project files a bit. Okay, so what we want is we want to include everything unless we're building, and then in which case we don't want to do that. So I'm going to save that project file, minimize that, start that so it reloads. Okay, so they should all be included, but if I build the solution and I go to the bin folder, we should not see the production. So it's in configuration and it copied them. That's not what I wanted. should, if I just put this in the project, it should, anything under configuration, if I've done this. Okay, so we want to include JSON, exclude those, and then that one, delete tests. Okay, so that should actually do that like that. There just so it's there. I'm gonna put that in my C# project too. Let's get rid of that. Discard. In folder. Build solution. Oh, it's even working there too. Okay, so you can see it working in the pane now. That's actually nice. That's a better way to do it. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to come down here and do that here. I need to not just do what I'm about to do. I need to paste that in. Okay, we don't need that remove test, but in the debug item group, we need to add these path traces. Under that, we're just going to pop our unit testing code in. There we go. So now if I add a configuration, we should be good. So I should have been that debug. Under configuration, again, I need to switch the base path for the engine, but yeah, there we go. Now if I was to add, just to add a test config here, add new thing. I like to link those. Not even putting anything in there. Making the build. And yeah, app settings.client just showed up. Nice. That's a little more modularization for our config files. For that test config. And then the one thing I want to do here is I want to link the existing configs to all of them. I'll just add. Nice. And that's not what I wanted. I mean, that is what I wanted, but I didn't want the bin. That is what I want, except I don't want to include the bin. I need to finish this before I look up this question. And that. No, that is actually not what I wanted to do. Just what to do. I complete that. Yeah, okay, so we want that, and then down here, we want to exclude that. Okay, so if I switch this to release, okay, the config files. Nice. I just wanted to do that so I have a central like way to so I can see. I'm just gonna ask how to do this. You know what? I don't need to. Applications should not be pulling in configs from other applications, so I'm just going to switch the wildcard here to source any, and I need to make sure I actually type that correctly. That complete. Oh, wait. That. Okay. So, yeah, we don't want to include the bin folder crap. So. Each application should only be pulling in from the source. Application, like, the client should not be pulling in the server stuff. And if it has to, it should be pulling it in from a shared library. Okay, this is a lot of chunky code here, but that works. So, like, if I switch to this, we'll switch those. And if I switch back, we'll switch back. So yes, we can see them, we can click it, and it'll pull it right up. I don't have to go search it right there, but when we have bigger code base, I don't have to find the specific thing we're looking for. That is neat. Now the only thing I have to do is I have to configure the engine's container to look in that new configuration folder. Also, I might just suck it up and change this. Yeah, I'm gonna change it. Do I want to do that? I'm not gonna do it right this minute, but yeah, I might go through and like reorganize the assets or something. Yeah, I might just do that. Okay, let me again delete the bin folder. Build solution. That should go through. And yeah, I just need to fix the thing. And then this, like I said, this is set up so we can add configs in here. I try to add. I can't add folder. If I actually add that, it'll still show them there, but yeah. Gotta be careful with that though, because that's like the one thing that'll go screwy. There's no way around that. So once you make a config folder, yeah, that'll look in the source folder for a configuration folder, and then copy all of our stuff to the configuration folder. And each of the things, do that there. The only thing I have left to do, let me just make sure these are. Yeah, we did that. Okay, we did that. I'm just checking those before I go off and mess with the container. Okay, so we need this. So that should actually work. I'm gonna maybe need to do some testing on Unix and other stuff later, but that should work. That's not gonna auto-update, which is annoying, but it's fine. We don't really need this anymore anyway. I'm just gonna collapse the configuration folder because we don't even really need it other than to add stuff to it. I don't really care anyway then anyway. What I'm gonna do from now on is I'll just do it, man. I'll just make a new file manually and yeah, we don't even, I'm not interacting with that anymore. It's automatic. That is automatic now. If I just come here to Saralog.production, if I just... Oh, it's already set. Okay, that's what it's going to go there. It's set to thing by default and debug field. Okay. Sorry, I have not done any coding in like a week and a half, so I'm kind of forgetting what I was doing last time with some of this stuff. But yeah, we don't need to interact with this folder anymore, so I'm just going to close it. All of the stuff we need to interact with, we can change the build and interact with it there. If I run this again, and I don't have a display capture. Oops. Okay, well, first of all, what we need to do is we need to temporarily re-enable the console when testing things in... First of all, we need to re-enable the console. Okay, so this should not show any debug. Okay, it works. I know it works because when I did this, I don't even need to, like I said, any project now, I don't need to mess with it. I can just go to a configuration directory, like up here, and like manually do it. The same way I have with the MGCB stuff. I can just go to the game and open it there. I don't need to find where exactly on the system. I'll just do. Alright, now I want to write some unit tests, so yay. I don't even know what I really need unit tests for, because like a lot of this stuff we don't really need. Like I don't know what I want to write unit tests for some of this stuff yet. Maybe worst case scenario, I could just copy the class, paste it, and ask ChatGPT. Yeah, I don't know what I would want to even be testing on these yet, because a lot of this isn't done. This is like bare bones. I've got this set up as bare bones. Ow! I've only got this set up as like bare bones cleaner and stuff right now. I don't want to work on the I've got about 10-20 minutes to do stuff, so I don't want to get like into stuff that's complicated right now. You know what? Fine. We can do one thing. Yeah, you know, we can set up one quick thing real quick. Let's add new folder. My freaking Nate! Oh, my templates got reset. I'm gonna have to fix that. I updated Visual Studio for the stream. I'm gonna have to go and fix that. Public interface game thread. We will be adding more stuff later. I'm just setting up the DI support for stuff right now. Okay. Also, not when I'm down here. We'll set up some better stuff here. We're just doing a quick little, DI fix real quick. that's been bugging me because every time I look at my code, it bugs me. Okay, better fix that later. We're not doing that right now. We're doing my game thread. We're literally just going to create a forward function of the constructor here. Stop. We're literally just going forward to this dot exit. That is literally all we're doing there. And then I just need to add a registrar for that. Add folder so we can register it into the DI container. I'm going to fully modularize that class later, but I just don't have the time to do it. Type. One as a game thread. Instance. We want one single instance of the game because we do not want to spin up the game. First of all, Mono Game will throw a conniption fit if you try to initialize more than one. Second of all, we do not obviously want to keep spinning up the game every time something asks for the thing. Specifically the game threads. Like, we're gonna add more thread logic and stuff later, but so like the game is the Mono Game is gonna run on one thread. Then we might have like on the server we'll have different threads for like AI, moving, networking. We'll have different threads for that. Anyway, we want to just inject that into our container, and then here we're going to just do some shenanigans. So we're going to be using IEnumerable. So we're not. Thread. Threads equals engine.get. Provider services. Thread each. Okay, so that should, in theory, finish automating that. So I should never have to touch this again, I think. I'm gonna add some common sense. I mean, maybe add some logic to them later eventually, but again, we're just doing a basic thread thing. Like, eventually we could, like, do some thread injecting, like, things, like, say we need, okay, say something needs, like, the graphics device, like, say it's, like, the networking thread. We could set it up so the networking thread is, but I'm just going to just do that for now. You know what, let's just actually do this. Let's actually not do that. Let's actually add a interface. I realized how I just realized how badly that's going to be. I mean, I'm just going to fix my things later. Oh my god, I hate that. I did. Going to inherit fat. We will add more. Again, we'll add more functions and stuff. And then where is my registrar? Let's actually not do this nonsense here. Going to do actually on this is I'm going to come down here. I'm going to make this required to as well. I will deal with asyncs and stuff later, but for now we're just going to do it. Okay, so we do that, and then we register it as the yeah, we can do that. You know what? I'm just going to leave that alone for now. Yeah, I can see a problem happening later, but we can just deal with that problem when it comes up. So, okay. Anyway, using the thread. Palisades. Excuse me. Okay, so we're just going to do that. No. I know what, I'll fix that in a second. Let me just make sure this runs. I can do... Actually, no, I still want to register it as a game thread because, like, well, first of all, we should not be manually spinning up game threads. We should be, like, looking for a specific thread. Like, if you need the networking thread, either get it from the enables, loop through and initialize certain threads that way, or, call for the specific thing in the injector, like if you specifically need the network thread. So yeah, we want to have it in a thing, so if we had like a thing watching the threads here, I'm not going to do any injection on that class right now, but like if I wanted to, in the game here, if I wanted to inject the threads and then get their status in the update function here, yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we still want to register it as that, we just need a way to discern which is the main thread. And I want to do this with an interface for the program.cs because obviously we're not going to be defining this. This is not going to be the main thread on a server. It's going to be some structure. It's going to be a server, but anyway, let me just. CA. We're not going to do that. Because we're not going to do that. We're going to do. Static function. it's going to basically just forward that, but I'm just going to do that just to fix the warning there. Where is it? Where's my game container class? Let me just come up here. Instructor. I'm literally just going to move that code here. Also, because then the container, it will do single responsibility principle. This should not be, it's making this. I will move this as well. I will move this into a static function as well. Because yeah, now I don't need to synchronize these between things. Single responsibility principle. Now we just need... Okay, maybe you know what? We're still going to define XerShade. We're still gonna do it here just in case, you know, I need to, like, if I'm mocking something, I can come in here. I can come in here and spell. Like, say I wanted to add that, I could still come here and do that. So we're gonna do that there, but, alright. And then... So yeah, let's refractor that. Okay, so that should work. Yeah, that should be my program.cs like done. I'm just gonna do this in here so we have like a base setup, and then if we need a per platform thing, we can do that. Oh, we can just override this class, honestly. Yeah, you could also just override this class. Let's do static new blah 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 blah. Like if you had Android game container, you just change that there, but yeah, anyway. Yes, this should not give a shit. This should only care about creating this doing this, creating this, getting the main thread and running it. That is all this needs to worry about and do. It does not need to worry about how to make the initial service collection or make the game container. That's what these are for. Yes, a little bit of single responsibility principle fixing when I was fixing that error. Yay! Anyway, I'm going to commit that, and I am unfortunately going to have to call that a stream for now. I want to do more coding today, maybe, but I don't know. I'm gonna work on the assets and stuff because I have to go do IRL stuff for a bit. But yay, we got unit testing set up. I haven't got anything to unit test yet. We got unit testing set up, and we fixed our main program and game container a little bit. Yay. So anyway, hope everyone enjoyed this little devlog. We're good for a longer one, but I have stuff to do in 10 minutes, so I need to go do that. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. We'll get into the mono game stuff next time. Fair warning. We are setting up a mono game dependency injection based class. Oh, fun! Especially when dealing with a guy.